What I saw, they showed Sector Force. They- what the fuck was that? What is going on, everybody? Slims here, coming to you guys with a Combat Pack 2 trailer breakdown. I'm going to be going over basically everything except fatalities and x-rays. I'm also going to be going in order, so I'm going to start off with Leatherface. I'm going to end with Alien. Now, the first thing that I want to point out with Leatherface is that the first string that he did was a pop-up, and it was also mid-screen. So it does look like he might be getting some decent mid-screen damage, where he does have the opportunity to do it. That's one thing that a lot of characters in Mortal Kombat X suffers with, is mid-screen damage without having to spend meter. Also, he has a spinning chainsaw move where it knocks the opponent in the air, and I'm wondering if that might be possible to also be a pop-up. Now, it does look like a special move as well, and again, it could be a pop-up. Now, with Leatherface, it's really not much to point out as far as those two things. He's using his chainsaw a lot, which is to be expected, but it's not anything like you'd be like, oh shit, did he just whip this out? Did he just do this? It's nothing really too crazy with Leatherface. Now, with the Triborg, they showed off Sector first, and the combo that he did, it looked like the 1-2-2 string, I believe, from MK9, where he implemented the blast from his chest. And then he uses the EX missile, which of course he's going to have that move, but it looks a lot different. Now, instead of just shooting one missile like MK9 did when you EX'd it, it shot, I think, 4, and the 4 of them are rotating between each other. So it's definitely going to be, I don't even think you're going to be able to jump over that move, unless you got like a teleport, like Scorpion, Ermac. You're basically going to have to eat that if you're like full screen. The missiles look like they were like homing in on each other. Like the last hit of the missile looked like it homed in on Sub-Zero. The combo was definitely cool. It was the coolest combo I saw out of this trailer. And also, when he did his teleport, which of course that's going to be back, it looks cool. Nothing really to go over with that. But when he did the teleport, the string that he did after that, it had a low in it. A low and a charge. The charge can be plus on block, and it can also have a good distance as far as like closing space. But also, it could be a string where it could be a low overhead string. It might be something like that. So I just want to point that out. Then we got Cyrax. Now, the first thing we saw with Cyrax was his bomb. Now, the bomb that he got it wasn't EX, and also it shot straight out. It wasn't like it went to this floor like we saw in MK9. The bomb shot straight out, and you're gonna see it slow down. Then he jumps up, neutral jump punch. He has a saw neutral jump punch, I believe. And we see his back 1-2 string return, not string, that the back 1-2 move return from MK9. I do believe it will be an overhead in this game. I think it was an overhead in MK9 as well. And we just see a lot of Cyrax, classical Cyrax. He has his saw, his bombs. We haven't seen the net. That's one thing we didn't see was the net, but I do believe it will be in this game. Like I said, the one good thing about this, the Triborg character, everything is good, honestly. I love the idea. I love how they look, how they seem to play. But the one thing I do love the most is the fact that we're not going to be losing moves with the variation system. Now, next they show Smoke, and he goes in with a combo. And the first thing that I pointed out, the first thing that I saw is that his EX teleport now launches. Compared to MK9, it was a knockdown. And in this game, it launches. And of course, the follow-up, we see he has his harpoon type of move back from MK3. It also was an EX, so it looks like he's going to be able to extend combos without using meter, and that's definitely a good thing. And with Smoke having a teleport and a spear, it's going to be like a mix-up. You know, it's going to be like, do I want to jump at him and get hit by air teleport? And if I jump, I might get hit by a harpoon. If he goes low, he can harpoon. They didn't show overhead, so he might not even have an overhead, but he definitely had a low. I think I saw one of his strings hit low. He also used a air grab, I believe that was. It might just be like a string. It could be a string, but I think it's more likely to assume that it's an air grab that he used. Next, they showed off Baraicho, and before I go into Baraicho's gameplay, I just want to point out that the pit looks absolutely amazing. The design of it, everything looks great. With Baraicho, The first string he does, the second hit is a low. With the strings like lows and overheads, I just want to point those stuff out because with characters like Sonya, as you can see, Sonya's mix-ups is freaking ridiculous. She is the most annoying character to play as far as just guessing in the 50-50 she does. And when a character shows off like lows or overheads, it's definitely important to point out because that determines how much mix-ups they have. With Baracho, they showed up the first string he does, the second hit was a low, and they also showed off that he had a low starter. And he has his puke move. He has a move where like he chest bumps you, then he farts on your face. He has his stick back. The stick might be a different variation. That's what I'm leaning towards, thinking that it's going to be a different variation altogether. Also, the stick. Now I'm not sure if it was a string or it was like an extra special move, but he has his move where the stick grabs your legs and it throws you up in the air, and then he follows up with he knocks you right back down. Now I want to say that move is a special move and it's also a launcher, but it also could be a string, so I can't say that 100% sure. Also, another thing I want to point out is his dive in looks really cool. It looks funny, but it looks like it's gonna be one of the better diving punches of the game. If it works how I'm thinking it will, I think it's gonna be really good for cross-ups, even though it's not Injustice, but it still works. As far as if you want to jump over, and some characters, their diving punches hit really high. This one doesn't seem to be the case. Only problem that I think it would have if it's really short distance of a jumping punch, that's the only problem I see. Lastly, we saw Alien. Now, as soon as they showed Alien, this guy was just going in. The first string that he did, it was just such an advancing string. He was just pushing Jackie with every hit. It was like a 6-hit combo. I'm not sure I'm not sure if it was a string or special moves implemented into it, but it was just really crazy how they started it off. Then we see him implement a lot of Baraka into it. We see him calling a support alien, and it looked really cool. Definitely, it just looked cool. We also see, which seems to be a variation type, where he has I want to say baby alien or whatever the fuck it was, and it latched onto Jackie's face, and I mean he looks like the most complex out of all these characters. Now Triborg definitely looks complex as far as having learned 3 different characters in one. But as far as just one character, Alien looks like the most complex out of all of them. I am excited for Alien. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of guest characters, but he definitely looks one of the coolest guest characters that Warner Brothers has ever given us so far. They showed a few things at the end of the trailer. I'm not talking about fatalities, but a few special moves or strings startups that every character had. The one thing I want to point out is that Baracha does seem to have an overhead starter as well. He does, I think, a front flip, which the way it hits Liu Kang seems to be a overhead because of how Liu Kang reacts when he's hit. We see Leatherface he jumps up and he slams his opponent, but it's like a bounce move. Also, it didn't seem to take any bar. And again, at the beginning of the trailer, when we saw Leatherface's combo, he had a launcher which didn't take any bar either. So to have a special move launcher and a string launcher, I just want to point it out. He might even have more damage than I thought he would. He might be one of the most damaging out of this combat pack. I'm really excited. Definitely, I'm excited. Leatherface might be at the bottom, but I love doing combos. You guys know this, so it doesn't matter who they put in. I'm still gonna be excited to see what combos he can do. But it looks like it's going in the right direction for the Combat Pack 2. One thing I want to point out is that, remember how we saw the Combat Pack 1? It was just an announcement. It didn't show a trailer for every character like they did with this one. So why I wanted to point that out is because it might be a possibility that they might release all 4 characters, if not all at once, which sounds crazy, I know. But if not all at once, they might release it a week span, maybe 2 weeks, not a month like they did with the first Combat Pack. The reason I'm leaning toward this is because, one, every month that passes by, the hype dies down for Mortal Kombat X. That's with any game. But I mean, with this one, it's only so many times you can play story mode. It's only so many times you can go through a tower. It's only so many times you could do those stuff like single player people do with Mortal Kombat. And even with multiplayer, with the lag that you have, you're not gonna have that much fun. So again, every month that goes by, they're losing fans. So you want to get out as much content as possible, as fast as possible, because you will have more money that way. You'll make more money that way. So I'm leaning towards them releasing these characters really fast. I'm calling it right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like the video if you did.